Hello everyone, this is Dr. Hatami. In this short video, we're going to talk about the capillaries. Capillaries are one of our blood vessels, which these are the smallest blood vessels in our body, which means you cannot actually see the capillaries with your naked eyes. You have to use microscope. So we can say these are the microscopic vessels which gonna be found between the arterioles and venule. So arterioles are the smallest artery. So let me show this blood vessel with the red color as the arteriole or smallest artery, which artery after taking away blood from the heart, they getting smaller and smaller and smaller and making the arteriole. Then after arteriole, we have the capillaries. So you can see these are microscopic blood vessels connecting the arteriole and venules. So then at this side, we have the venule, which you can see the deoxygenated blood or blood with low oxygen would be carried toward the heart. But here at the arterial side, we have the high oxygenated blood. Okay, so let's see what is the capillary's function. So capillary, they have very thin wall. So if you look at these three pictures, you can see here we have this blood vessel, which would be our artery. So you can see the tunica intima. Then you can see the tunica media, which is the thickest layer of the artery. And then the outer layer would be the tunica externa. So that is the artery. So as you can see, it has a thick wall. And then we have the vein at this side, which has a big lumen, and then we have tunica intima, and then a thin tunica media or smooth muscle layer, and a thicker tunica externa. And that is a cross section of our vein. But then here you can see the capillary, which they have a very thin wall. So it means the basement membrane with just one layer of simple squamous epithelial cells on top of the basement membrane, which this simple squamous epithelial tissue is called endothelium, which is actually the simple squamous epithelium, which means we only have one layer of flattened cells on top of the basement membrane. So it makes a very thin wall. And this thin wall allows the oxygen and also carbon dioxide to be exchanged here. At the capillary level, we have exchanges of the respiratory gases like the oxygen and carbon dioxide. So here we should have cells. So here we should have like cells or tissue. Then oxygen can pass through the capillary wall, go to the cells, and then carbon dioxide from the cells to the blood. And also here we have the exchanges of the nutrients. So nutrients, waste products, they're gonna pass through the capillary. So the capillary's job is the site for gas exchanges, carbon dioxide and oxygen, nutrients, and also waste products. Okay, let me ask you some question to test your understanding. Which one is the smallest blood vessel? Artery, vein, arterial, venule, and capillary. Whenever we're asking about the smallest blood vessel, you should think about the capillary. Which capillary are the smallest blood vessel? These are the microscopic blood vessel. So the artery, after taking away blood from the heart, they're getting smaller and make the arterial. So arterial is the smallest artery. That is not the smallest blood vessel. So smallest artery, then the arterial leads to the capillary, and then after capillary, blood it goes to the venule, and then after venule it goes to the vein. At which of the following blood vessels does the exchange of gases, nutrients, and waste primarily occur? Is an arteries, veins, capillaries, or all of these blood vessels? So pay attention. When we have the gas exchanges or nutrients or waste exchanges, we should have a very, very thin wall. So only capillaries, they have a very thin wall. So then these exchanges gonna happen at the capillary level. So the arteries and veins, these are the passageway for blood from the heart toward the tissues and from tissues back toward the heart by the vein. Thank you so much. I hope you understood the capillary's structure and also its function.